Hello, welcome back to SVerchok and ANimation. Today we're gonna be doing an improvisation using SVerchok, animation nodes, and grease pencil. So I already have something in mind. It's gonna be something to do with the Blender logo. Okay, that's Blender logo, but we don't want to create it from scratch because we already have it right here. Shapes, Blender logo. Just create that, and we have this huge nodes and Blender logo. You just need to bake it and then just hide it. With SVerchok one, you can probably just delete the whole thing. So now we have this thing. This thing is a mesh. Just convert it into curve. Convert to curve. And in here, if you use 3D and extrude, you don't get the fill. So you just use 2D. Now we get our Blender logo. You can add bevel and stuff. Wonder we can smooth it. Oh, I forgot how to do this. But anyway, just leave it like that. You can kind of offset the logo. Blender logo is interesting. If it's too thin, it looks different. Than I like it a little bit fatter, but just leave it as it is. So save it as logo spin. Okay, so Blender logo is done. You just need to add color, etc. Thanks to SVerchok for the presets here. Now we want to rotate it. So if you want to rotate this very quickly, you can just keyframe, that's fine. This is for if you're beginners, you keyframe using I, and you go to the last frame, and then you rotate it 360, and then keyframe it again. So you're kind of done. But you can also use driver. If you hash and frame, that's gonna work as well. It's gonna spin really fast. But I like doing it with nodes because it's a lot easier. Animation nodes is the one I'll be using. Select the objects, rotate in the Z. Oops. Oh, that's actually scale. Okay. Rotate in the Z using frame. So almost like using driver. Okay, now you can rotate it like that, or like that, or like that. Use degree, it's fine. Give some multiply it 8 times. So 8 times 360, or 360 divided by 8, 45. That's a bit fast. Okay, just make it 4 times then. 360 divided by 4, 90. Okay, cool. Now we have rotating Blender logo. What else we can do with it? If you like doing hand drawing, like myself, sometimes it's a good thing instead of doing 3D all the time. So I want to create some kind of animations, kind of like a gear, because this thing is rotating indefinitely, right? So we can try doing something with this. Let's say you have like a gear, and you just start drawing the grease pencil like that, and I will hit. Oh, okay. So that's probably not the right place for this gear, for the drawing. Animation nodes tend to be heavy on the processor. You gotta turn off always. Just turn on this 3. I will have the dope sheet for grease pencil. Gonna put it right there, and I will edit strokes. Put our gear over there because we want to move it. We want to kind of, when we go a couple of frames, we want to put the gear somewhere else. So I kind of like animating in 2. Something like that, you know. This is actually really good. It's very underrated. I think the way that you can rotoscope inside Blender very easily. Like if you have a movie, you want to rotoscope the movie, just use Grease Pencil. Just like for rough animations, and you can bring it to Krita. So I haven't done many 2D animations myself, but I know some techniques. I don't maybe I don't have that much patience sometimes with 2D, but it's a good idea because when it comes to animation, there will be part when it gets tedious anyway. So I think I probably made a mistake, or I created duplicates somewhat with the Grease Pencil. I'm using Blender 2.79 here, so I'm kind of drawing on every frame. On 2.8, you can actually interpolate this kind of animations. So this seems to be working okay, but the idea is this is becoming some kind of gear. So when this guy is moving, the other one should also move. So these two are kind of connected. Oh, just now I was drawing this on an empty frame, that's why it disappeared. Oh, okay. So obviously this should be like that. Should be like that. So you get the idea, right? What I'm trying to do is like creating this gear on the fly. This was actually inspired by an animations on Twitter. So the guy was doing this kind of animations. It's hand drawn. Oh, it's not hand drawn. It's like vector drawing. But yeah. And when you're drawing in 2, it's pretty fun like this. I heard the new Spider-Man animated in 2 and 1. So there you go. We can move together. So all I did is like I started by drawing one and then draw another one and another one, right? So we actually have the gear right here. Ideally, at this point, I mean, you can just delete all this. And start to draw backward. So probably the distance there is not 100% correct, but you get that happening. So you get the gear works, and you can get like a good idea on how to create your gear that works together with this logo, because when the logo goes up, it's also doing this kind of motion. So you can do like a wave. So that's a kind of like a way, if you want to like make like a gear using Blender and you want to figure out the timing and the distance of the gear. I think I made a mistake there, but you roughly get the idea of this and this and this. All right, so yeah, so that's pretty much it. This is just a quick improvisation. Really, it's a fun way you can work around with this guy, and you can use the grease pencil, right? And just use grease pencil with the active frame. Just put a frame here, and you also have your thingy, and you can convert this into real objects. You know, just add extrusion. It's SVerchok stuff. Yeah, you probably need to kind of center it, or just use this matrix and drop it down a little bit. Oh, but we have multiple objects. Mesh join. And bring it down. I should add thickness, etc., but I think it should work. See, so that's really just one way if you're doing this kind of modeling. I don't know, it's animating and modeling and using nodes at the same time. So it's pretty crazy. All right, hopefully you enjoy this. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.